Hi guys. Okay, so today's video is going to be on Carnelian. Excuse my color. Excuse my color, people. I'm just having a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Today's video is on Carnelian, and Carnelian is a very powerful stone in terms of protection. But before we even talk about its magical properties, let's talk about what Carnelian is. Carnelian is a form of agate, and a lot of people don't associate it with the agate family because it doesn't follow the traditional, what does the agate look like? Because it's sort of translucent, as well as agates. They have pretty colors in them, but you can't see through most of them. Carnelian, which, like I said, is a part of the agate family, comes from it's most popularly found. It's most often found in Brazil. It's most in Brazil, Serbia, and I think Germany was the third place. Those are the three places where they're most commonly found. But it's actually the history and use of carnelian has been. It's spread all throughout Europe and parts of Africa. The ancient Egyptians used to use carnelian as a protection stone, and they believed that it could protect from both humans and the dead. And they believed that it could also suck up all negativity that humans would throw at you. So it was also like, an evil eye replacement type deal. And if you look up carnelian jewelry, or if you look up, ancient Egyptian carnelian jewelry, most of them will be carved into the shape of an eye. So I guess you can say that was the original evil eye stone. But carnelian is associated with the tribe of Judah if you read the Bible, because in the Bible, specifically the book of, it was either the end of Exodus. I'm pretty sure it was the end of Exodus, where Moses is establishing how the Jewish temples will work. And it talks, and the Lord speaks to Moses, and he tells them how to adorn the priest Aaron. And it talks about the 12 holy stones. And I wrote about the 12 holy stones in my blog, so go follow my blog and read that post. Shameless plug right there. But carnelian is associated with the tribe of Judah, and it's actually the first stone to be placed into the sacred chest plate of Aaron. Now, if we look at that, if you want to break that down on, some Da Vinci Code stuff, that's very symbolic, because the tribe of Judah, years later, would give birth to Jesus Christ. But along the way of giving birth to Jesus Christ, it gave birth to David and Solomon, and the prophet Isaiah, who is. These are three very important. These are four very important people if we go back and we read their Bible stories. Of course, Jesus is an important person because he has had a whole religion built to him. He was a Jew. He was a Jewish man, as we all know, who had a religion built off of his teachings. But let's look at Solomon. Solomon has often been regarded as one of the most powerful magicians to ever walk the face of the earth because of his ability to speak to animals and his ability to, talk to God and his great wisdom. And then his father, David, was extremely wise as well. David, he was a man who was able to slay a giant with 3 stones. You know what I'm saying? And then Isaiah, who had the ability to I think I might be getting my Bible stories mixed up, right? But I believe Isaiah brought a man back from the dead. I think that's what happens. I may or may not be right with that. I don't have a correct Bible. I don't have a Bible in front of me right now, so excuse me if that is incorrect. But still, Isaiah is a powerful figure. He is a prophet of God, and a very important prophet of God at that, because most of the quotes that you hear, most of the quotes I've ever heard came from his book. Um, I know that yesterday I was hanging out in a local shop, and I heard the woman who owns the shop. She was advising, and I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I just heard that you read Isaiah chapter 1 verse 42 for protection, and you read it during cleansings. So that was something that I thought was really cool. But yeah, anyway, so back to this whole idea of Carnelian and the House of Judah. It's just a very powerful thing. And then you look at other connections that it has, because Carnelian is also connected to Archangel Michael, and some people would argue that Archangel Michael was the favorite of God. Some people would argue that that is Gabriel. Some people would argue that that is Ariel, or but in my personal opinion, it was Michael, and Michael, uh, Michael is the angel of protection of human spirits, and protection and guidance through avoiding these avoiding sin and treachery. So let's look at Carnelian. Carnelian is sometimes associated with the root chakra, and the root chakra's whole vibration is based on human survival, whether that be human survival on protection, or human survival as in we need to keep the race a going thing, speaking in a sexual manner. So therefore you can say that Carnelian is not only a stone of protection based on its connection to the root chakra, but it's also a stone to ignite sexual passion. It is also connected with the solar plex, and if you truly ask me, the solar plex is all about that ability to create abundance and to create prosperity. I've done many a ritual where I draw from the solar plex to create money opportunities, and those seem to be the rituals that work out the best. So by that connection, you can also say that the Carnelian is a good stone for doing money work. I'm trying to think if I've left anything out. Carnelian is back to this whole idea of Carnelian was used for protection. The ancient Egyptians did use it for protecting both the living and the dead. They believed that it would suck up the negative energy. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But they believed that it would suck up the negative energy that a person would throw to you. And like you guys know, my whole thing is throwing shade and haters. So Carnelian is something that is very positive for that. And Carnelian is also it also has a regenerative nature, and when I say regenerative, what I mean is that it has this ability to it doesn't really need to be recharged often. But if you should feel the need to recharge or cleanse it, the way that is done is by placing it out in the sunlight. Now, Carnelian is actually, my first experience was this with this crystal was through a dream. I had a dream that I was putting a battery into a mojo bag, and I had told my godmother about this dream, and she was like, "A battery? You don't? Well, what was the battery representing?" I was like, "I don't know. It was a literal battery. Like maybe I actually take a battery and put it into a mojo bag." But then I was like, "No," because I remember something I had said during the dream, and it was all about how the battery is supposed to keep the bag charged. And my godmother said that Carnelian was the battery that you put into the mojo bag, and for that reason that I bought little chips. I buy little chips now, and I put these into the mojo bag. Like I said, these are easy to charge. You just leave them out in the sunlight. And when you mix the bag, when you put the ingredients into the bag, you should drop a chip into the bag too, and that will keep the bag powered and keep its energy regenerative. Keep the energy of the bag regenerating itself. So let's say that the bag doesn't get fed for a long period of time. The Carnelian will make sure that it still has the energy that it needs. What else? So the stone can also be used. I keep talking about its regenerative nature and its ability to reinvigorate certain energies. And it's often said that when a person has lacked the inspiration, or they're lacking the motivation that they need to get a project done, that Carnelian and a Carnelian crystal grid will help with that idea. Now, I would like to take that a step further and lay out a Carnelian crystal grid, and at the center, you put an astral candle for the person that needs the work done. Excuse me while I choke. And at the center, you put an astral candle for the person that needs the work to be done. I feel like that would be a very good thing to do. Now, when I talk about astral candles, I talk about a candle that represents a person's birthday, and I have a couple of different charts based on that theory. So I will go through and I will read those, and I'll make that in another video. But a Carnelian crystal grid is actually very good for protection as well. So, putting a reversal candle in the middle or putting a black candle for protection in the middle is also a good idea. Carnelian is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very transformative stone. It's fire energy. It's all about the fire energy. I do want to talk about that too. Carnelian is associated with the sun. It's associated with Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. Taurus was the one that I found to be out of place. I don't know what Taurus has to do. But then if you want to look at it, Taurus is all about ambition, and it's all about goals. Most Tauruses, they own their own businesses. A good example of a Taurus is, who's a Taurus that owns their own business? The only one that comes to mind right now is, there's one that comes to mind right now. That's funny. Anyway, but the Taurus is a person with a lot of aspiration and a lot of progress. With a lot of aspiration and motives. So they do tend to get things done in terms of owning their own businesses and finishing out projects. So that being said, keep in mind that the Carnelian is a very it's a one-time charged stone, but it needs sunlight every once in a while. You cannot keep it in the dark. That's not a good idea. So if you do have a dark place where you keep certain crystals, because I know that certain crystals don't respond positively to the light, I would suggest that you find a place that is more befitting a Carnelian. And that's it for this video, guys. I don't have anything else to say about Carnelians except love the energy, and they are, if you personally ask me, they are a must for mojo bags, but that's just me. Some people will say you just need a lodestone. So that was all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't worked with Carnelian, please do buy yourself a piece, and if you don't like it, send it to me. But thank you so much for watching, and ashe, ashe, ashe.